Welcome to History with Herodotus, where the boundaries of time and space are bridged by the power of human curiosity. Today, we embark on a fascinating journey through the annals of history as we delve into the captivating tale of the Fall of Constantinople, an event that would shake the foundations of the medieval world and forever alter the trajectory of human civilization. In the sweltering summer of 1453, the once mighty walls of Constantinople, the capital of the Byzantine Empire, would be breached by the relentless forces of the Ottoman Empire, marking the end of an era that had spanned over 1,000 years. The city, perched on the strategic Bosphorus Strait, had been a beacon of culture, learning, and spirituality, its grandeur and beauty inspiring awe in all who laid eyes on it. To understand the intricacies of this pivotal moment in history, we must first weave our way through the complex tapestry of events that led to the downfall of this ancient metropolis. Our narrative begins in the early 15th century, when the Byzantine Empire, once the epitome of power and sophistication, was grappling with the challenges of a declining economy, internal strife, and the relentless pressure of external threats. At the helm of the empire stood Emperor Manuel II Palaeologus, a wise and learned ruler who had ascended to the throne in 1391. Despite his valiant efforts to revitalize the empire's fortunes, the writing was already on the wall. The Black Death, which had swept through Europe in the preceding century, had left deep scars on the population, while the Ottoman Turks, under the leadership of the ambitious Sultan Murad II, were making rapid gains in the surrounding territories. As the Ottomans continued their relentless march towards Constantinople, the Byzantines found themselves increasingly isolated and vulnerable. The empire's western allies, including the Papal States and the Kingdom of Hungary, were either unwilling or unable to provide significant assistance, leaving the Byzantines to face the Ottoman onslaught alone. Meanwhile, within the city walls, a sense of unease and desperation was palpable. The once mighty Byzantine army, now depleted and demoralized, was struggling to maintain order and defend the capital against the gathering storm. The streets of Constantinople, once filled with the sounds of laughter and commerce, were now empty and silent, as if the city itself was holding its breath in anticipation of the impending doom. As the years passed, the Ottoman noose tightened around Constantinople. In 1451, Sultan Murad II died, and his son, Mehmed II, ascended to the throne. The new sultan was a brilliant and ruthless leader, determined to fulfill his father's legacy and claim the prize that had long eluded the Ottomans, the conquest of Constantinople. As Mehmed II ascended to the throne, he set his sights firmly on Constantinople, driven by a fierce determination to claim the city as his own. The young sultan, barely 19 years old, was a master strategist and a skilled diplomat, able to inspire loyalty in his troops and command respect from his advisors. He spent the early months of 1452 gathering his forces, assembling a vast army of over 80,000 soldiers, including Janissaries, Sipahis, and Azaps, each with their own unique skills and strengths. In the spring of 1452, Mehmed II launched a series of campaigns to capture key Byzantine strongholds in the surrounding regions, seeking to isolate Constantinople and cut off its supply lines. The city of Adrianople, located just a few miles from the Ottoman capital, was one of the first to fall, its defenders unable to withstand the Ottoman onslaught. As the Ottomans closed in on Constantinople, Emperor Constantine XI Palaeologus, who had succeeded his brother John VIII in 1449, realized that the city's defenses were woefully inadequate. The once mighty walls, built by the great Emperor Theodosius II over 1,000 years earlier, were crumbling and in disrepair, while the Byzantine army was depleted and demoralized. In a desperate bid to shore up the city's defenses, Constantine XI ordered the construction of a makeshift wall, known as the stockade, which stretched from the Sea of Marmara to the Golden Horn. The stockade was a rickety affair, built from wooden palisades and earthen embankments, but it would have to suffice as the city's last line of defense. As the Ottomans began their siege in April 1453, the Byzantines huddled behind their walls, waiting for the inevitable onslaught. The Ottoman army was a formidable force, with its cannons, catapults, and other siege engines, which Mehmed II had carefully assembled to breach the city's defenses. On April 12, 1453, The Ottomans launched a massive bombardment of the city, with their cannons firing stone balls weighing up to 600 pounds into the walls. The Byzantines, led by the emperor and his loyal generals, fought valiantly, but they were vastly outnumbered and outgunned. As the days turned into weeks, the city's defenses began to crumble. The walls breached in several places. On May 29, 1453, after a grueling 53-day siege, the Ottomans stormed the city, pouring through the breaches like a flood. The Byzantine army was quickly overwhelmed, and Emperor Constantine XI was last seen fighting bravely on the walls, his fate unknown. As the Ottoman troops poured into the city, they were met with scenes of utter devastation. Buildings reduced to rubble, streets littered with the dead and dying, and the once great churches and monasteries desecrated. The city's inhabitants, who had endured unimaginable suffering during the siege, were either killed or taken captive, their fate sealed by the merciless conquerors. Mehmed II, now the master of Constantinople, rode into the city on a white horse, his sword held aloft in triumph. He dismounted at the church of Hagia Sophia, which he would soon convert into a mosque, and proclaimed the city the new capital of the Ottoman Empire. In the aftermath of the conquest, Mehmed II set about consolidating his power, establishing a new administration, and rebuilding the city. The once great Byzantine Empire was no more, its legacy reduced to ashes and dust. As the news of the fall of Constantinople spread throughout Europe, it sent shockwaves through the Christian world, prompting widespread mourning and outrage. The Pope would later call for a crusade to retake the city, but it would be too little, too late. The Ottoman Empire had emerged as a dominant force in the region, its power unchallenged for centuries to come. As the Ottoman Empire consolidated its power, Mehmed II set about rebuilding and revitalizing Constantinople, now renamed Istanbul. The city's strategic location at the crossroads of Europe and Asia made it an ideal hub for trade and commerce, and the Sultan invested heavily in its infrastructure, constructing new roads, bridges, and buildings. The once great Byzantine capital was transformed into a thriving Ottoman metropolis, as Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived and worked together in a vibrant tapestry of cultures. In the years following the conquest, Mehmed II also sought to promote learning and culture, establishing schools, libraries, and universities throughout the empire. The Sultan's court became a center of intellectual and artistic inquiry, attracting scholars, poets, and artists from across the Islamic world. As the Ottoman Empire expanded its borders, it absorbed the knowledge and traditions of the ancient civilizations it encountered, creating a rich cultural heritage that would endure for centuries. The fall of Constantinople sent shockwaves throughout Europe, prompting a renewed sense of urgency among Christian leaders to launch a crusade against the Ottoman Empire. However, the response was slow and disorganized, and the Ottomans were able to continue their expansion unchecked. In 1456, Mehmed II captured the city of Athens, and by the end of the century, the Ottoman Empire had absorbed much of the Balkans, Greece, and parts of Eastern Europe. As the centuries passed, the legacy of the fall of Constantinople continued to shape the course of history. The event marked the end of the Byzantine Empire and the beginning of a new era of Ottoman dominance in the region. It also had a profound impact on the development of Western civilization, as scholars and intellectuals fleeing the conquest brought with them knowledge and ideas that would influence the Renaissance and beyond. Today, the fall of Constantinople is remembered as a pivotal moment in world history, a testament to the power of human ingenuity and the enduring legacy of great civilizations. As historian Stephen Runciman once observed, the fall of Constantinople was a disaster for Christendom, but it was also a stimulus to the growth of a new Europe. The event continues to fascinate historians and scholars who see in it a complex interplay of politics, culture, and religion that shaped the modern world. In Istanbul, the legacy of the fall of Constantinople can still be seen in the city's architecture, cuisine, and cultural traditions. The Hagia Sophia, once the greatest church in Christendom, now stands as a mosque, a symbol of the Ottoman Empire's enduring presence in the region. As visitors wander through the city's bustling streets, they are reminded of the rich history that has shaped this vibrant metropolis, a history that continues to inspire and captivate us to this day. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, And until next time, remember that, to understand the present, we must first understand the past.